NFL
Oh,
players.
yeah, Coach, it's big. Like I say, it's part of, for those guys and me, myself, representing your country, and then it's the damn Olympics. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's here in the States, it's
Right.
in L.A. I mean, what better place,
Let's do it. Let's do it. Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com for windows, doors, siding, and shutters. Yes, indeed. Even our shutters. You can elevate your home with our custom shutters from Relief Windows. We offer shutters designed to enhance your home style and functionality. Again, that's the way. Look good and functional, and they last.
I know that's
Whether you're
right.
looking to add elegance inside your home or protect your home with durable exterior hurricane shutters, we have the perfect solution for you. Interior shutters, exterior shutters, check them all out at reliefwindows.com. We're open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 288-8138. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Live at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, Max is back with you. Back with us, Max? Huh? You got had some technical on the YouTube.
I'm back. Sorry.
So what are you asking me?
We're working on YouTube. Just a reminder of Colucci's picks. I know some people.
Yeah. Race 5, the number 5. Race 8, the number 5.
Perfect.
So it is it's a stakes race. That means it's a bigger purse, and so, but they had enough applicants where they had to split it up into 2 races, the 2 different races. So the birth a mile on the inside turf, and it's called the Della Rose. The Della Rose. So today, race 5 is expected to go. Oh, I'm going the wrong way here. Race 5 expected to go around 2:25 our time today.
So I
think they're about 20 minutes from first post today.
I toured Churchill Downs last weekend, and one of the things I learned was that Kentucky law has it to where only one track can be running at a time in the state. So Keeneland's not going to be running at the same time.
Yes.
It's Churchill. Does that exist in other states? Because it sounds like
every one of them. Yeah.
Okay, so California, as soon as Saratoga ends,
no. Saratoga's in New York. So when, for instance, when
Saratoga
Aqueduct is in the winter, they're done. Belmont starts. When Belmont's done in New York, they go to Saratoga.
Okay.
When in California, Santa Anita.
That's what I'm thinking.
Santa Anita is in Los Angeles, and then they go to Del Mar in San Diego.
So when you say they can't run at the same time, meaning
there's some that won't, but the big tracks, the main tracks, they don't overlap.
Fairgrounds and Evangeline
at the same time of the season.
Okay.
So there's no real other main track, the Fairgrounds, but the Evangeline Downs is in the summer, and they don't compete with the Fairgrounds, who is Thanksgiving to Easter. So
the season.
Yes, the season.
Okay.
The season, the time of the season.
Yeah.
We'll take a time out, top of the hour sports break. Hey, Paul Stone talking some college football. He's back for the Big 12 media days in Frisco. Live at lunch, live at Walk-Ons, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I never knew that.
Live at lunch.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat. Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th.
So call Paul Stone?
Yeah, I'm texting you that. Yeah, we're calling Paul here. I have his number if you need it.
Hold on, let me see if I have it. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me check. Before we called him Sunday, let's call Nolan. Yeah, can you send me his number? I'll call Nolan.
I never knew that, bro.
Or in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just
All right, thank you.
Our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
At Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, we're not just windows. We're also hardy plank siding, vinyl siding, and wood windows. Check out our website to see what we offer today, GEAUXTommys.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Kicking off hour number 2 over here at the original Walk-Ons just off of campus. Jimmy Ott, former LSU and New England quarterback Rohan Davey, and Max Gotro. Again,
Mad Max.
Tomorrow we will be at Ruffino's and Hold the Mayo. That's right, Devin Snow will be with us taking Charlie's seat tomorrow at Ruffino's. Let's kick off hour number 2 with some college football, and let's talk to Paul Stone, our partner with me and Max. We're during the podcast season on Bet Rivers. Paul, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Jimmy, man, doing well. Here we are post July the 4th. College football next month. Going to be here before we know it.
All right, back from Frisco, the palatial facilities of Frisco, Texas. Your biggest takeaways from the Big 12 media days this week?
Well, hearing the Commissioner Yormark's opening remarks, this is a conference and the new age of NIL and the transfer portal and rev sharing, revenue sharing on the horizon. This is a conference that wants to be sure that it's got a seat at the table, that wants a piece of the pie. And he was talking about, the need for multiple teams in the playoff this year. And he did say, as did several of the coaches, if we want more teams in the playoff, we've got to do it on the field.
That's right.
Win some games and that type of thing. So this is a balanced conference. No great teams, much like last year, but a lot of good teams. I think 7 teams in that conference could win the league. So it's going to be one of the more exciting leagues in all of college football, in my opinion.
They did not release polls. Max, fill us in on that. Exactly the reason why that the Big 12, which is always part of it, the media's predictions for all conference teams in order of finish, and they They felt that it affected them last year.
It sounds like basically the results of their preseason poll last year were so bad that they feel it impacted the way they were looked at. So Arizona State was preseason poll dead last in the Big 12 last year, and they feel like maybe they got a little disrespected because they made a big run. They turned out to be a very good team, and they didn't get the respect because they were the
Was there an official word from the league on this?
Paul, I haven't seen official word. They just said they weren't announcing a preseason poll this year.
They felt that it affected their national perception and maybe some seeding and maybe getting some an at-large or a second team in there. Paul, did you pick up some of that in media days?
Absolutely. You know, they thought their perspective was that Arizona State and BYU were disadvantaged by their starting point and the overall pecking order of college football. You know, and I know that's going to be kind of a battle cry for a league like a Big 12, but I'd say let's look at Indiana. Indiana last year probably started the year at about number 100, and they won 11 games, won no games as an underdog, won 11 games all as a favorite, and they were able to move up the the rankings and get in as an at-large team. So I don't really buy it. They did do the preseason all-conference team and all the other things. They just didn't do the polar team.
Roa, I know what you think of that, huh, Ro?
Yeah, I think it's bull crap.
Yeah.
I don't buy that either. Win, man. He started it out correctly, the commissioner, when he first got up there and said, we need to win. And that's how you get in these conversations. You win and you sustain it.
Yes, indeed. Another thing, and you talk about the NIL era or the pay-for-play, whatever it is, that, boy, Texas Tech with one outlet has them as 4 of the top 10 transfers. 4 of the top 10 transfers, that's a large percentage for a 16-team league. And, we think, Paul, about Texas and Texas A&M. It's your neck of the woods, a lifelong resident in Texas. Is Texas Tech, we've seen the softball girl that they paid all the money to. We've seen some other sports. So we knew that they were one of the first ones to kind of have a plan that they gave everybody on the football roster a certain stipend. I think it was like $40,000 or $50,000 at the time a few years ago. Your thought, is Texas Tech, where do they fall in the new NIL era of trying to compile a roster?
And I'll tell you, they fall right near the top. And I know Mr. Davey has been in a lot of locker rooms throughout his athletic career, and we played middle school and maybe high school sports, and we always hear the power of teamwork. You got to be a team, you got to work together, but you can't underestimate the power of one. And the one that they have, maybe the most valuable player in the Big 12 this season, is booster Cody Campbell. He sold his oil and gas company, Double Eagle, for a little bit over $4 billion.
Oh,
the B word. And boy, not the M
What's
word.
his number?
And this is a big number with lots of zeros. And he loves intercollegiate athletics. And Kennedy, the softball pitcher, came to a non-revenue sport at that, came to love it largely because of Mr. Campbell. And these transfers that they've got coming in through the portal this year, they've really shored up that defense, and that's where they need the most help. So they're certainly a player. Mr. Campbell is interesting. He was at Big 12 Media Day, and he's calling for the major changes and overhaul of intercollegiate athletics. He doesn't like the way it's going, but at the same time, and I'm borrowing a word from someone else I heard on an interview, I think it was one of the On3 guys, but as long as these rules are in place, he's going to weaponize his arsenal, and they're going to buy players, to be frank about it, there at Texas Tech. But he does want an overhaul of intercollegiate athletics as well. So very interesting. But Cody Campbell, man, he's the man there in Lubbock. Also played football at Texas Tech.
Cody Campbell, the new T. Boone Pickens in this league?
I think
Sound
he
like
might
it.
even have, I don't know Mr. Pickens, but net worth, but he might have deeper pockets than that. I'm not sure. I don't want to misstate it because I'm not qualified.
Yeah, well, T. Boone's no longer with him, but the stadium's named after him, and he was arguably the most impactful booster, back in his day. So
I heard about him when I was coming out.
No, his name is on the stadium. Oklahoma State misses him. Speaking of Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, man, with all the success, and they never had a losing record there. I mean, winning record, but after the first year for like 18 years in a row. He's entering his 21st year, but he might be in some under some pressure. They went 0-9 in the league last year. He cleaned house. Everybody is new, including the staff, pretty much, including the two coordinators. And their total is at 5.5. Is it going to be another tough spot here for the Oklahoma State Cowboys after such a long stretch of success for Gundy at Stillwater?
I'll tell you, Jimmy, Oklahoma State to me is kind of a case study or a poster child, if you will, in how quickly things can change in this era of NIL. This is a team, they won 10 games in 2023. 2 years ago, they played Texas for the Big 12 title. Last year, they win 3 games. Not sure they're going to be any better this year. Mike Gundy took the stage yesterday. They're in Frisco. They have 65 new players. 35 of those guys, they got in the late portal. They've never even seen practice. They don't have a quarterback on the roster who's ever taken a snap for Oklahoma State. I mean, this is just a stacked deck. You look at the 65 or so teams in the Power 4 league, they're one of the bottom 5 teams in the Power 4. Purdue and Stanford are the only two that I can say are clearly below Oklahoma State. They start the year with relative gimmies against Tennessee Martin of the FCS and Tulsa. Going to start out 2-0. Might not be favored, though, the rest of the way in their final 10. They don't get to play West Virginia. They played terrible defense last year, gave up 43 points a game in their last 8. They're not going to win 5.5. They're not going to win 6 games. I just can't imagine it. Under 5.5, minus 154 there in the marketplace for Oklahoma State. It's one of my favorite regular season win totals of the year.
All right, Kansas State coming back with Avery Johnson, trying to develop him a little bit more as a passer. So they were about 5 or 6 to 1 as one of the favorites to win it. Whittingham, he could turn the page now, finally, as quarterback. He's still there. A lot of rumors that they thought he was leaving, but Utah is expected to have a very good team this year. Arizona State, the defending champion. They lose Scatterboo, but have everybody else. And, boy, you talk about an ascending young coach in Dillingham. Texas Tech, we talk about. Nobody's killing it in this league like the Red Raiders in the transfer portal. Baylor and Dave Aranda said this is his best roster. That's including his best roster since he's been at Waco. That's including the Big 12 championship team with that goal line stance against Oklahoma State that year. TCU thinks like they've kind of got an improved roster. Iowa State's got a really good coach. Who do you like? And is there a price on the futures for this league that seems to be pretty wide open?
Again, 7 teams, I think, could win the Big 12 this year. I think it's going to be much like last year. If you remember, 4 teams finished tied for first at 7-2, 3 more at 6-3. So we had 7 teams within 1 game of one another, and 2 more at 5-4. Might not have that kind of balance, but it's going to be extremely balanced. I've been recommending to split a unit on Arizona State plus 600 and Baylor plus 700. To win the conference, because Arizona State team, you kind of teed me up there. Scatterboo's gone, 1,700 yards rushing, but everybody else returns pretty much of substance, including quarterback Sam Levitt. And then Baylor, man, they got a great offense. Their quarterback Sawyer Roberts, who returns. Their top running back, Bryson Washington, over 1,000 yards last year. Top receiver, Josh Cameron. That defense is going to be better. So that's my recommendation. Take a unit and split it between Arizona State at plus 600, Baylor plus 700.
All right, Rich Rod is back, and back where he had his most success before he took the Michigan job. Terrible fit there, but he was winning some BCS bowls back in the day at West Virginia, his alma mater. But in this era, especially, Paul, when you make a coaching change, your roster is gutted pretty good. Looks like it could be a transitional year here for the Mountaineers. Their win total is at 5.5. You have a side here.
I do. I mean, there used to be a song, and I'm older than all you guys, but it was about the second time around. It was talking about romance. Second time around is going to be better than the first. I don't think it is in romance, and I don't think it is in college football either. I think it's a tough gig here for Rich Rod. He loses 2 of his top players, running back C.J. Donaldson off Ohio State. Buckeyes, they don't just take anybody these days. And then their top defensive player, linebacker Josiah Trotter. Last year's Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year, son of former NFL great Jeremiah Trotter. Trotter's off to Missouri, so they lose 2 of their best players. They've got 52 new players. didn't play good defense last year with Trotter, gave up 33.5 points a game, probably be worse this year. Got a tough schedule, the 32nd toughest in the nation, according to one publication. They also don't get to play Oklahoma State, Arizona, or Houston, three teams projected to finish in the bottom half of the league. I don't think they're going to be burning many couches this year in Morgantown. They might burn them out of frustration, but not celebration. I like West Virginia under 5.5 regular season wins. You can find that at -150 out there in the marketplace.
All right, let's look at some individual games involving these teams, and both are non-conference games. And one that we're going to be paying attention a lot to is, Max, I know you've been eyeing this one down, Auburn traveling to Waco to take on the Baylor Bears. Auburn is a road favorite here, Paul, at 2.5.
Yeah, I make numbers on all the games, as you probably know, Jimmy. I actually made Baylor a 2.5-point favorite there at home. It's going to be a big game for both teams, but especially Baylor getting to host an SEC opponent on a Friday night, kind of a standalone game there at McLean Stadium, Friday night, August 29th. They had Baylor last year, as you mentioned. Iran was on the chopping block. It seems to be just a matter of time. They lose a game to Oklahoma State, I believe. They lost by not Oklahoma State. I tell you, they lost to Iowa State, rather, by 22 points the first Saturday in October. They sit at 2-4 in the season, 0-3 in conference play. They rallied to win their last 6 regular season. Played great offense down the stretch, averaged just a shade under 40 points a game in their last 8 games of the season last year. Got everybody back, basically. I like this Baylor team. Auburn's got to find a quarterback. I'm not sure Jackson Arnold is that guy. I think he will start against Baylor. I like Baylor plus the small points there in Waco week 1 over Auburn.
Yeah, that's at week 1, and it is by far the most attractive game on the schedule. It's the only game that involves, Georgia Tech at Colorado. Georgia Tech at Colorado is that night as well, but Auburn, Baylor. Been a little Fox versus ESPN coverage. Fox, of course, Big 12 home game there for Baylor, and ESPN will have Georgia Tech at Colorado. Let's look at another game a couple of weeks later, week 3 in college football, the Backyard Brawl. This used to be played a lot of times for the Thanksgiving night or that Friday. It's early in the schedule with Pitt being in the ACC, West Virginia being in the Big 12. West Virginia at home here, Pitt a small 2.5-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, we touched on West Virginia, obviously. They've got a new coach. They've got a new starting quarterback, more than 50 new players in the program, so not exactly the way you would like things to be going in terms of roster management. Pitt, on the other hand, they got a lot of talent returning this year. They've got their quarterback, sophomore Eli Holstein. They've got a scat back, Desmond Reed, 5'8", 175 pounds, but lightning can come in small packages, 962 yards rushing last year. Almost 600 yards receiving, second-team All-American, so he can do things in space. Their defense, Pitt, they return 9 of their top 13 tacklers. That includes their first-team All-ACC linebacker, Kyle Lewis. The Backyard Brawl, one of college football's most underappreciated rivalries in all of college football from my perspective. As a matter of habit, I don't like to play the favorite in these games, especially a road favorite, but I just think Pitt's roster is much further along at this point, especially in the opening game of Rich Rod Sr. with so many new players, so many question marks. I'll take Pitt -2.5 at West Virginia.
Ro, we're certainly familiar with Eli, coming through with Zachary and his brother as well.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good year last year.
Mm-hmm. Listen, him leaving Alabama and going up there to Pitt, I think was a great move on his part. I'm not really surprised by how Holstein has been in the passing game. I've seen him work with him a couple times throughout the year. So, listen, had a great year last year. I think surprised a lot of people, put himself, right up there with some of the better players in that conference, some of the better quarterbacks in college football. And I look for him to even be better this year than he was last year, especially with so many returning starters returning for him on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, so, Paul, what do they look like? Have you looked at Pitt? I know we're switching leagues to ACC a little bit, but I would have to think, with Eli putting up the numbers he did in his first year starting, that's a strong base for your second year, where we see a lot of college quarterbacks usually spike up a bit.
Yeah, he's got some weapons there. They started the year last year. I don't want to misstate, but they were undefeated. I think kind of the middle of the season, and
Yeah.
were starting to sneak into the
7-0
conversation, and then stumbled the last few games there. But I would think with his second year as a full-time starter, you've got to think his evolution and comfort level under center is going to be heightened there. And then again, Desmond Reed, man, that's one of the most underrated players in all of college football. This guy he is lightning, and he can hurt you in a lot of different ways. So when you got a good quarterback and you got a guy like that can make things happen in space, I think it's going to be another great Panther offense. And they play good defense under their head coach there. He's a defensive kind of guy, and again, they've got 9 of their top 13 tacklers back, really good at that second level at the linebacker position. So I think this Pitt team could be one of those teams right behind Clemson, that could maybe make some noise and maybe contend for an at-large berth in the playoffs.
Paul, one of the things we like working with you is you're very fair with yourself, and you don't just talk about your wins or the things you got right, but also, you're fair with yourself, and that's what makes you good. On these early lines, these 2 games, Baylor, Auburn, Pitt, West Virginia, when you bet advanced lines like this, what is your percentage where you get a better closing value?
I would say, and I'm being honest. I mean, again, I don't want to, sound.
No, I know it's pretty good. I know it's good. I mean,
probably I would say at least 90%, and some of them are very significant. And that's kind of what you look for. You might come back with the middle, but this is what I do, year round. I mean, college football is my specialty. These other guys that make the lines, they're spread out. They might be doing a little soccer over tennis, maybe even some water polo and rugby. Who knows what all they do? But all I really do is college football this time of year, so it's not so focused. So I should be able to beat them, on the opening numbers and easily do.
There we go. And now, but August 29th with only week 0 before that was probably going to be minimum movement, huh? Or, the way, as opposed to once we see some.
Right. A lot of it is, projection for sure, when you take these games a little bit further into the season. So there's not going to be a whole lot of movement, between now and the opening weekend on those first games. But once we start getting results, that's where you see, in many cases, your advantage where you have closing line value, sometimes, a fairly significant amount. So you hope to have a few of those anyway.
Matt, you want to add something? I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask one thing. BYU losing their quarterback, kind of late in the
what's
process.
Going on?
Jake
He's definitely
He's going to transfer out of the program.
Okay.
He's going to be suspended 7 games. So, Paul, I was just curious, how much does that downgrade BYU's season, and do they have a replacement for him in the works?
I think it's pretty significant.
Yeah, they really, what they've got on the roster. They don't have a real experienced quarterback. They've got a guy who is a 26 commitment this next class who will be a senior in high school. And there was some, talk that he was going to be able to graduate high school and, start early. But that apparently hadn't come to fruition. So the guys that they have on hand are Trayson Bourget. If you remember him in the MAC, he started at Western Michigan, probably started 10 or 12 games there, with mixed results. Then McKay Hillstead, he's the guy that comes from Utah State, can run the football a little bit, not very big, not great numbers at Utah State. I think he started 4 or 5 games there. And then Bear Bachmeier, whose name will be familiar, his brother Hank Bachmeier started his career at Boise State, ended it at Wake Forest. I think he was at Louisiana Tech there in your state for a season. But Bear Bachmeier is a true freshman who actually signed with Stanford and went to spring training with Stanford this year. But then when Troy Taylor, their head coach, got in a little trouble, got fired, he decided to go to BYU. So Bear Bachmeier might kind of be the wild card, the true freshman who came in late. I don't think he even went through spring training because of his unique circumstances. But they're going to be down. There's going to be a drop-off, whoever their starting quarterback is, compared to Jake Resloff last year. So I've lowered them 5 points at this point. I might re-examine that. Revisit it and kind of take a closer look. But I think it's at least a 5-point drop in their power rating Reslaw to whoever starts out of these three contenders.
Follow Paul on Twitter at Paul Stone Sports and all college football season long, twice a week with me on Sports Bettor's Paradise on our podcast. Paul, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Let's get them this year.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all have a great weekend, great rest of your summer.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, so Lamar Brown has made his decision, and he has chosen LSU. So
we was in the ballpark, Coach.
He's in the ball, just enough in the ballpark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Max, did he have any other hats and all the displays?
He's got the other displays, but he put on
A&M Miami.
an LSU gold baseball jersey, looks like. So
that's right,
the
baby.
baseball team.
Okay. Good stuff right there from
yes, sir.
Paul Stone, and
yes,
major hit for
keep him committed now.
Yes.
It just started,
That's
Jimmy.
That's right. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of South Louisiana for over 50 years. Our great team at United Community Bank, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We'll come back to talk about what Paul touched on, and Lamar Brown commits to LSU. Live at lunch, live at the original walk-ons on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Sometimes it's so hard to find someone to do home repair, odd jobs due to storm damage, or just regular wear and tear over time to your home. Do like I did and call Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition. Roofing, flooring, debris removal, electric, sheetrock painting, and much more. Pretty much whatever home maintenance you need, Clean Sweep can handle it. Call Pat Green at 300-7064 for a free no-obligation estimate. Fully licensed and insured, reasonably priced, and for over 20 years in the greater Baton Rouge area. Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition, 300-7064.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Once again, Lamar Brown commits to LSU at his press conference. It was broadcasted on ESPN2. Max, give us had hats lined up from Texas A&M, Texas, and Miami, like you wrote from what I was heard, and then got a little information, but A&M was the biggest hurdle for LSU. Something like LSU was a little behind Earl for a while on the hometown, looking for maybe a hometown discount, which is common. Kind of usually get offered more to where you travel. You got to go move away from home. But LSU at least got close enough or in the neighborhood, and that's kind of what we thought. We did give LSU a lean, and it comes to fruition. But as you said, they don't sign a letter of intent until December. I mean, LSU just lost one that had committed for how long? Last year in Underwood.
Yep.
So it does seem, maybe this is just to connect the dots, it's just too easy, but it does seem that the Underwood decommitment was a jolt to the whole roster building operation for LSU. It was it's a bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, you are in jeopardy of sliding.
Yeah.
You can't slide in it. I thought Paul Stone did a good job of talking about, and, that Oklahoma State, Gundy had a losing season his first year. He had not a losing, he had winning seasons for 18 years in a row at a major conference. That is hard. You want to see how quick? 0-9.
Yep.
It could change quick. Florida State, their quarterback's healthy. They go to a 4-team playoff. Okay?
Yep.
They go 2-10 the next year. It is year to year. There's no doubt. And so, and a coach that was hired under the old rules here at LSU has a little late, better late than never.
Yeah.
Looks like they're more on top of things, because I don't know if they get Lamar Brown 2 years ago.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because we weren't situated to even come, even to park near the ballpark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to even being in the ballpark with an A&M, with a Miami, with what these guys are offering. So, no, I'm totally convinced we would not have gotten him in the previous 2 years. I mean, just look at who we've lost over the previous 2 years because our NIL situation was not solidified or even going in the right direction as it is now. And I still don't think we're where we want to be, but I think we're definitely closer than where we were when BK first started.
It sure seems that way with the number one transfer portal class, with guys like this. You're making sure that a top 10 overall player, prospect in the country, no matter what position, maybe the top defensive line prospect in the country. Max, for our audience who was unable to watch it on ESPN2, kind of paint the picture with the team in the background and stuff like that at U-High.
Yeah, he had the big hats, the oversized hats that you put on. He put on the LSU hat and then unzipped his quarter zip to reveal the LSU baseball gold jersey. His teammates sat up behind him
with their jerseys on.
With their jerseys
on.
That
was cool.
Stand up, giving him an ovation. So a nice scene there down the road at U-High. LSU now 5th in the 2026 class rankings according to Rivals since that commitment was made.
Okay. It's clear. That would be number one transfer portal and top 10 or close to top 5. That's it. That's getting it done. That's getting it done. So it's something that had to be improved.
But I know they got
because teams, you know, Clemson, we're talking about them this week. You know, this is their best roster since the new rules.
Yeah.
They were affected as much as anybody that I saw. We're talking about SMUs of the world. No, SMU gonna have some change. I mean, so that was a ahead of schedule run to the playoffs. Maybe they didn't even deserve to be in the playoff. Whatever it was, they're better, and
No doubt.
you know, even with their 28,000, 30,000 seat stadium, they're going to have money to build a roster. So, you know, so the teams that are kind of affected for the positive and for the negative since the new rules, and LSU might fall down on their level of resources, ability, you know, what they have overall sell, but they shouldn't be down for some of the rosters I've seen. Maybe the super rosters are done. Okay, the 2019 LSU or the, you know, some of those Alabama teams, some of the, you know, the Georgia team, you know. So when these SEC teams really get it right, you know, back in the day, Florida, I mean, maybe the super rosters with guys you can, you know, you can pull a guy off the bench and he could go win the SEC player, you know, offensive player of the game, the SEC championship and stuff like that. You got a guy like Ricky Jean-Francois waiting to get in there.
Right.
You know, I mean, guys like
Right.
that. He gets the defensive MVP.
Right.
You know, maybe those super rosters, 2011 LSU is another good one, maybe gone, but LSU, where they rank in relation to everybody else, has not been where they need to be. Where would they be without Jane Daniels winning a Heisman, having that kind of year? I mean, where would they be? Going to Texas Bowl and playing Purdue is not acceptable here at this program.
We've been very fortunate, man, honestly, over the last few years, while BK been trying to get his act together with getting off his behind and going out recruiting and being just, you know, what we're used to seeing as the face of the program and being visible to these guys. Very fortunate, man, to have a Jaden Daniels over the last few years to be able to basically put some of your hindrance to the back burner, and you didn't have to worry about it too much, you know. And he, by him leaving, it highlighted a lot of the things especially offensively, that we were deficient in, that we had to go out and get. I believe Caden Durham's going to have a wonderful year. Stays healthy, he's going to have a wonderful year. Very explosive, and I think he's going to have a breakthrough year for us. But listen, we are definitely not where we need to be, Jay. But to what you just said, better late than never.
Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980, and my buddy Lucas Ragusa has been in the industry for a long time, from a tech all the way up to management, ownership, the whole part. He knows it. He's paid his dues, and he is wonderful to deal with. And I've dealt with Lucas for a long time, and not only great to deal with, great to go to a Saints game as well. Went to the first game back after Katrina with him, the 2 playoff games on the way to the Dome. I will never forget those. He's an awesome guy, and he runs his company, and he surrounds himself with people who are going to represent, you know, the company really well. Hey, it's hot, man. It breaks down. You may have not got, like we asked you to, get the kind of the tune up, the AC check in the spring like you were supposed to. But if it goes down, you got to call, because, God, what was the guy, one of the restaurants we were working, said his unit was out for a few days. No. Service today, every day.
Much.
Same day service means you'll never sleep hot when you call. You call 480-1000. 480-1000. 480-1000. Call today. Get service today. Factory authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Dakin, and Rheem products, but that doesn't mean we don't service other units as well. 480-1000. It breaks. Support the folks who support us here at Live at Lunch. Total Maintenance. Live at Lunch, live at the original Walk-Ons, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme, or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com. This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games. Just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, the women's final is set. Anisimova in a classic match against Sabalenka. 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 earlier today. Was not nearly the dramatics in the second semifinal. Iga Swiatek, 6-2, 6-love. And so we have the odds.
We do have a line. Swiatek minus
160.
225.
Minus 225.
Plus 175. The third different American in a Grand Slam.
Anisimova, who was Russian parents, but she was born in the States and raised in when she could. You could tell she doesn't have that. She doesn't fumble with the English language when she speaks. She's hardcore American. She's got more of the weapons. The surface favors her more, but she's never been in a final. And being in the Wimbledon final as your first final against somebody who has 5 majors is the odds underdog. But this is going to be the last time you're going to get her at this price. And she was plus $2 against the world's number 1 today. And Sabalenka would have been a considerable favorite over Swiatek on this surface, a considerable favorite. And so, because this is by far Swiatek's toughest. And she hadn't even been to the semifinals before. She's been knocked out last 2 out of 3 years in like the first or second round. So, put me down. Just saying, I'm putting it out. Otterlocks, there you go, baby. We're gonna have that one today. What's Rory doing? Is he interested back in the Scottish Open? Where's Scheffler? What's the leaderboard look like as they wind down on this first round across overseas?
Yeah, so Scheffler came in at 3 under par earlier this morning. Also kind of struggled with the short game, but he's struggled traditionally on the short game overseas. The slower greens, the tougher chip shots. This is the one difference between links courses. It's not that hard to get up and down at this course, where next week it'll be very difficult if you miss in the wrong spots. But he's 3 under par, very much in the mix, just 3 back of 4 leaders. Straka, Jake Knapp, who is one of our picks this week, Victor Perez, and Nico Echeverria. Meanwhile, Rory McIlroy just got in the clubhouse with 3 straight birdies to get back in the conversation. He's 2 under par with a 68, just 4 back. Victor Hovland is finishing up his round. He's 4 under through 17. He's putting on the last hole. He's got a 3-footer for par, so he should be in the top 10 or just around that edge going into the second round. And Ludwig Oberg, who I still tout, to be honest, at 3 under par. Like I said, struggled with the short game. He was 30-1 pre-tournament. He's 25-1 after shooting 3 under. So to me, it's a decent value play if you're still looking to get in and you didn't get in already on the Swede Ludwig Oberg. But pretty stacked field, not a whole lot of separation at this point. So hard to really tell who's got a huge advantage at this point.
So Rohan, what we've learned today, because you've been with us for consecutive days, and so getting the feel, especially in the summer, we talk in sports. We just don't talk on Football Sunday.
Right.
Okay, that's obvious.
Right.
We're recapping LSU in college, and we're previewing the Saints in the pros, and picks. One thing we've learned, So Max gave out all his picks yesterday. He's got one guy tied for the lead, although 3 more close. He's got some bullets. Yeah, he's pretty good. Max is a little bit better than, say, his evaluation of where Wimbledon's produce is outsourced. Would you say? Just a little bit?
We'll keep that
I didn't
away
know they
from
grew
him.
strawberries in England. No, Max, they get them flown in from Germany.
I thought they were
what the hell
Ponchatoula
is wrong?
strawberries.
Ponchatoula.
Yeah, Ponchatoula.
Ship them in, you know?
Well, Baglio.
That's
Late great
right.
Charlie
Bags.
with the flats of Ponchatoula
We
strawberries.
just keep Mad Max away from the produce.
yes. Keep him in his corner. Max, you watched the match earlier today. You saw how Swiatek, Tomas. You and my brother-in-law both said early, and I kind of shoot it. Swiatek, you kind of watch her. And so there was a name for you to watch. What do you think?
She looked great today. I don't know if Bencic, she went in the back at one point. I guess she had a training or some sort of issue. So maybe Bencic wasn't 100% today.
Bencic hurt her foot in the tail end of the I always forget it, in a quarterfinal match.
Okay, so maybe that was affecting her a little bit. But yes, easy pickings and maybe a little bit fresher perhaps on Saturday, considering how quick it was today. A lot of emotion out of Anisimova, just getting to the final to begin with. So maybe that's a bit of a factor in the final.
I think also style of play. And let me tell you, it was a big stage for her today. And and like I said, Sabalenka was a bigger, only thing is she beat her 5 times. So she wasn't, that part of like playing the Sabalenka, the big bad Sabalenka, who's a heavy hitter, was not going to phase her. But it's real simple. The shorter points, it's going to be Anisimova. Yeah. Okay, she's got the power, she's got the weapons, and Swiatek mobility is off the charts. That's why she's so. So the longer the points, Swiatek. Right. The shorter the points, it's going to be easier said than done. I do think that now Swiatek is serving better, but she doesn't have the serve that Anisimova has.
I would say, considering that Sabalenka had been in those moments more often, I was a little surprised that she had more of the unforced errors than Anisimova. A lot more just sitters that she hit right back in the net It felt like there were more flaws in
You
Sabalenka's
think
game.
those are unforced errors? They're coming pretty hard at her.
Oh, no doubt.
know?
But
Okay.
I'm listening to the commentators.
Well,
I'm still learning here, but it felt like there were more opportunities.
To have the thing that makes her ball hit somebody. So everybody hits topspin. Well, topspin gives you room for error when you hit, but it also reduces the pace. Anisimova flattens it. And so it's coming harder, but it's less room for error. She was hitting the corners pretty consistently
A lot of chalk flying.
for a
Yes,
for a flat ball like that. So you got power. I mean, high risk, high reward, and she's sharp right now. Could she be a little bit off? She went through a little spell where she missed a couple of sitters when she got broken to lose the first set. She was up 30-love. And she lost that service game, the first service game of the match. But and everybody, they said even before this, she is playing better. Now she's back. She's playing better than she ever has, because her whole, just matured, got her mind right, and this was the best match of her career. So, I mean, what's the best price there?
Plus 175
Plus
we're looking at. I don't know if it'll be there tomorrow. But,
It's gone, baby. It's gone there, Coach.
I have no problem with Swiatek winning in dominant fashion. The recency bias will keep the public some action on there, but it may settle down as well. We'll come back and wrap things up. We're at the original Walk-Ons, live for the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com.
Hey, Jordan.
Promo?
Yes. You ready?
All right, it's rolling.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, special guest tomorrow from Ruffino's for Live at Lunch. It's Devin Snow of Hold the Mayo. It's a Hold the Mayo Friday, live at Ruffino's. Special guest. Let me do it again.
You good?
Join me, Jimmy Ott, and Devin Snow, Hold the Mayo, coming into Ruffino's to co-host with us tomorrow. Hold the Mayo Friday from Ruffino's, live at lunch, live at Ruffino's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gonzalez, Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And we go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
Timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins. Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padilla at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and WorkboxLLC.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Well, Rohan, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you stepping in for the Charlie, man. Are you stepping in for me
I
later
am.
when I go out of town, huh?
I am.
We got our.
You just call me in, baby. Come on in, baby. That's
you
it.
ready? You in the bullpen? You
That's
ready?
it, baby.
Huh?
Ready to go.
We are going to have a new host this year for Football Sunday, so it's not finalized yet, but Ravage, we had a good run there. We're still doing at the Queen. So the Queen on the odd number Sundays, first, third, and when there's a fifth Sunday, will be at the Queen, the DraftKings Sportsbook. But we are in talks and having some real good talks with Caesars Sportsbook down in New Orleans. So we hope to have something soon to announce in that area. So
Absolutely.
we're excited about that. So Football Sunday will be back, and the handicappers have done a good job on that show. It's been a real good
Yes,
job.
they have.
What, Max?
I'm just going to add, how about DJ LeMahieu? 15 seasons. He finally designated for assignment from the Yankees. But
Basically,
it's been a very, very long career.
might be done, huh?
In the majors. Yeah, it had something to do with moving him in the infield. He can't really play the left side of the infield anymore just because of his age.
So he can't play
down
third?
Injuries. Yeah, so they designated for assignment. I'd imagine he'll get picked up somewhere else, but he's been with the Yankees and the Rockies for a very, very long time.
Very, very short list of batting champions in both leagues.
Yeah.
One with Colorado and one with New York.
A heck of a player, man.
Big old dude, for second baseman, third baseman. Third baseman more of his size, but for his size, more of an average hitter than a power hitter.
Yep.
I mean, because he would do a lot of his damage, going oppo.
Yep.
But I mean, really, it's just unusual for a guy, a player of his size, to do that. But I don't know. I don't think it's more than a
30?
handful that you have. Ro, thank you, buddy.
Absolutely, partner.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, Holden Mayo will be with us tomorrow over at. I don't think they have red beans for him, but he's coming anyway. They'll have a Bloody Mary and some beer for him, though. But he'll be. Yes, indeed. We'll see you over at Ruffino's tomorrow. For Jordan Kitchens back in the studio, Paul Stone, the Colucci man. This has been Live at Lunch, live from the original Walk-Ons on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Cincinnati.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, you